it's Natasha. In today's video, I'm going to review the Family Mixed Martial Arts videos, Preschool Mixed Martial Arts. This is a course that I've given you a sneak peek into 2 times now, but in this video, I'm going to give you my full review and explain how the program works, how we used it, and how we liked it. So if you're interested, definitely stick around. Okay, so what this is an online course. It is not live, meaning these are pre-recorded lessons. So basically you sign in and you have access to the entire course of pre-recorded mixed martial arts lessons. Now it does say preschool mixed martial arts, but actually it's, in my opinion appropriate for ages like 3 to 10. So I had both girls do it at the same time, and what I did is I would pull up the lesson on my computer. I do happen to have an Apple computer, and so I was able to AirPlay to my TV. I'm sure there are other ways to, screen share onto your TV if you don't have an Apple computer, but that's what I have, and so that's what I did. And so basically, I was able to AirPlay onto the TV, and so we just kind of cleared out the homeschool room. We would move the couch we have in there and just off to the side a little bit, and they would get their own spot and would complete the lesson. The lesson walks the kids step by step, little incremental lessons. And each lesson teaches them a very important safety skill, and it teaches them a character trait. Plus, of course, they're being active, moving their bodies, working on their strength, and all of that. But the safety skill aspect alone was really valuable to me. So basically, the kids learn what to do if they were to be attacked in some way. Now, of course, that is not something that any parent wants to think about, but the kids are learning exactly what to do in a situation if somebody were to push or grab them, and they learn how to maneuver out of that and to yell. They learn to bring their hands up to always protect their face and yell, "Leave me alone." But obviously yelling, I'm not going to yell for you because, don't hurt your ears, but they learn to do that. So even my 5-year-old is taking that very seriously and learning how to do that. Now, of course, the actual physical activity is fantastic for them, but I didn't really feel like this course broke a sweat, really. I didn't really feel like that's what this course was about. It wasn't really like a cardio course. It was more about teaching them the safety skills along with the character traits, which I'll talk about in a second, and helping them to focus on how they're moving and utilizing their bodies. And so I think in that sense, it is extremely helpful because the more in tune they are with how they can move their bodies, those gross motor skills, they will be able to do more physically as well. So I think this has a bunch of different benefits, but if you're looking for, an aerobic type activity that's going to be burning a lot of calories, this wasn't really it. I don't think my kids really ever broke a sweat. However, they were intense in their lessons and they were learning valuable skills, and I do believe they were getting stronger. Of course, that's really hard to quantify, whether or not they got stronger, but I believe that they did. Also, each lesson goes through a character trait, and the teacher basically has these whiteboards and shows them, walks through a character trait, what the character trait is, what that means, kind of how that applies. I do wish that a little bit more time was spent on the character traits, maybe in a game or in some way making it more engaging. But I did like how they incorporated the character traits. I just wish that there was maybe a little bit more to the character traits because I think there was a bigger opportunity there. But it was kind of nice where the character traits were placed because they would have the lesson where they would be taught a skill, and the teacher has a child demonstrating the skill with her. And then they practice that skill, and then they are asked to get a parent, and the parent helps the child practice. They do the character trait, which kind of breaks up the lesson. Then they play a review game to practice the skill that they learned. And then they have like some sort of exercise, and the teacher tries to make it engaging. She has different props that she uses, and it's kind of like a beach theme, which is kind of exciting for the kids. So they do recommend, if you have a boogie board, you know, like those ones that go in the ocean, that's super fun to add to your lessons, but it's not needed. You can use a towel or like nothing, but I think the boogie board would bring another dynamic to it, because it is kind of like a beach background, and they do like these surfing moves and stuff, and so it is super fun. And so I could see how that added fun element would be brought in if you did have a boogie board to use for the exercises, but we didn't have any boogie boards, and I didn't want to go out and try to locate them just for this course. But if you had boogie boards lying around, I would say pull them out and use them, because I think that would be a lot of fun. But you technically really don't need anything. We do have a gymnastics mat, so we did pull that out and use that during the lessons, but it wasn't really necessary. And really, these lessons I feel like can be adapted to pretty much any skill level. I think it was very valuable teaching kids what to do in a situation that we hope they're never in. But it was not presented in some scary way. It was presented to them in a very, I don't want to say friendly, but in a very, like the teacher is very friendly, and she's very like sweet, but she's very, like to the point about it without being scary. I'm really unsure how to describe that, but my kids never felt like, oh no, like they just felt empowered, and that's how I want them to feel. I want them to feel empowered. My 9-year-old definitely caught on quicker than my 5-year-old, but I guess that's to be expected, and that's why I say this really is, I think, appropriate for like 3 to 10, or even above, really, because it really could teach anybody. It's just the content of the videos is a little bit younger kid-ish, if that makes sense. So even though the skills themselves are good for even adults, you know, the background and the games and things are more little kiddish, and that's why I say like 3 to 10. But the skills themselves, honestly, that's another reason why you might want to incorporate your teenagers, because they're going to learn these skills and by helping their siblings, but yet it's actually powerful tools that they want to have in their back pocket too. So the lessons are less than 20-ish minutes, you know, like 18-ish minutes, you know, they're not all exact, but, you know, around the 20-minute mark from start to finish. So it's a nice size lesson where it's not too long, it's not too short, there's enough meat in there, but it holds their attention throughout the whole lesson. And you don't tend to lose their interest because it's not too long of a lesson. And so I really appreciated that. So again, I hope that was helpful in explaining this course, and I do recommend that you check it out. So I'm going to leave the link down below where you can find the course, and I'm also going to leave the link to the Homeschool Review Crew blog post where you can see some other moms and kids who have reviewed this course too, so they can tell their experiences about it. And the final thing I want to tell you is that if your student completes the course, they can actually send in the videos. They have to do the different skills that they learn throughout the course, and there's a PDF that tells you exactly what to do, but they can actually earn their like belt and everything. So we're not quite there yet, but we're working towards that. That's kind of the goal for my 9-year-old. My 5-year-old really just does it for fun, but my 9-year-old really wants to do that. So as soon as she's ready, we will record her and send that off. But I thought that was a great option that they have, so that they can really be working towards something. If you want a at-home MMA option for your young children, this is fantastic. I've been so pleased with it. It's been a joy to use, a joy to watch my girls use, and I do highly recommend it. Okay, thanks so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.